Oh, there we go. You got a jumper. All right, that's a nice keeper to start the day. All right. Welcome to Load the Boat with Zach. In today's video, I'm going to talk to you about one of my favorite lures to use in and around the spawn, and that is the pink trick worm. Stick around, this is going to be a good one. Alright, I cut off this setup I've been using this past week. Gonna try to keep this short and just give you the when, whys, and how for using this pink trick worm. Now, I really like to use this bait in and around the spawn because although there's some great lures to use specifically for pre-spawn, fish on the bed, and fish that have spawned, this pink worm will catch them in all stages. So if you are unsure what stage the fish are in on your lake, or if you have them in multiple stages in your lake, this is a great lure to throw because it will catch all of them. Now I will also break this out in the fall when the water gets kind of dingy, or in that late summer fall transition, lake's been pressured. Sometimes this pink worm will make a comeback later in the year as well. But this lure definitely shines in and around the spawn. Another great thing about this bait, why I would use it over other baits around the spawn, is it has such great drawing power because it's very bright. It's very visible. The fish will come up. Sometimes the beds can be hard to see, especially if you don't have really clear water. And the fish will show themselves if you bring this trick worm by them. And sometimes even if they don't eat it, they'll show themselves, and you can go and you can pitch your creature bait, your drop shot, whatever you're using for bed fishing in after them, and catch those fish that have shown themselves with this trick worm. It has a lot of drawing power, just like the big swim bait, except you don't have to make a big splash, and this is weedless, so you're going to have a lot cleaner cast with it as well. So how I rig this bait is, first you got to put a swivel on of some kind. Now, if you want to fish deeper, or if the fish are really line shy, you can use a little micro swivel. If you need a little bit of extra casting weight or want to fish deeper, you can use a bigger swivel. But always put a swivel on here because this bait is going to be darting and twisting and rolling around a lot. That's why the fish like to kill it. So make sure that you do have a swivel on. I like to use 12-pound test line as a leader. You can definitely go heavier. My dad sometimes will just go straight braid when he's after some big ones and the water isn't too clean. But if you have too heavy of a diameter of line that's like fluorocarbon or monofilament on here, it's going to impact the action of your bait. The heavier your line goes, it gets stiffer. So make sure that you try to keep this as light as you can if you want some good action from your bait. And on the business end here, I have a 3/0 Gamakatsu hybrid worm hook. You want some kind of EWG style hook. Oops, sorry. Now, normally I don't use EWG with worms. I prefer like a round bend, more of a round bend or offset round bend hook when I'm fishing with a worm like this, and only use these EWG style hooks with my beefier creature baits. But you need this gap on your hook because how you rig this, you want to have a bump to make it do that spinning action. And so you put it a little bit further back than what you would normally do. So when you rig it up weedless, you have that little bump. Oops, I didn't do a real good job going in that time. Oh, my bait slid forward, that's why. Sorry about that. Alright, so when you rig this, you want to rig it to have that little kink in it, that little bump. You don't want it perfectly straight, and that's going to give it that action. What that also does is sometimes instead of when the fish bites it, instead of popping out, sometimes if your bait's going to slide down, and you're going to have to penetrate through 2 layers of the worm. Sometimes it'll hook like that, and if you don't have that wide gap, what's going to happen is you're not going to have enough bite left on your hook to keep the fish pinned. If you use a regular hook, when it does that, you're not going to get enough hook penetration, and you're going to lose those fish. Those fish are going to come off on you, and sometimes they'll come up from behind, and you're going to get the tail penetration too. So you need to make sure you're using the EWG style hook to make sure you have that bite. Now I like this G-Finesse hybrid worm hook because it's a little thinner diameter and has that slick coating, so I can get better hook penetration and still use that lighter line. I'm throwing this on a spinning rod. If you're throwing it on braid and you can get away with the heavier wire hook, go for it, but I prefer this hook for easier penetration. All right, so I'm going to work this bait similar to how I would work a jerk bait. I'm doing some twitches with my rod and pauses. I'm twitching it up and letting it sink back down. I want to try to keep this bait just where I can just barely see it, unless I know the exact depth that the fish are holding. Because this is a visual bait, if a fish is following or swirls at it, I want to be able to see it so I can go back in there with another bait and do a follow-up cast. So try to just twitch it up, let it sink down, and the heavier swivel or the heavier hook that you use, the lighter the line, the faster that thing is going to sink. So if you want to work it fast, use a little bit bigger swivel in your presentation. Again, I'm tend to use 15-pound braid to a 12-pound leader here. That's my little go-to, and I'm using this bait most often. Casting around the edges in between docks. I'm looking for clumpy grass. I'm looking for grass that's hard spots. As I'm trolling motoring down the bank, going fast, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cast this thing and work it over any bare area, any light spot that I can see. Good sunglasses are a must when you're doing something like this, because you want to be able to see the bait, but you also want to be able to see where to cast the bait, because this isn't something like a rattle trap or a chatterbait where you can cast and cover a lot of water with. You're gonna need to be a little bit more precise with your casting to be efficient with this bait. So try to look for bare spots in the grass, high percentage areas like that when you're casting, and looking for areas to work this bait. But this is something that can just stay in your hand all day, and it is so much fun. The pink worm is not always the very best bait, but when it is, you have got to be throwing it. And don't let your programming as a child, if you're a man, go and keep you from picking up something pink. This works not just with the worm here, but if it's chocolate milk, it's spinnerbait time. I've done some serious damage with a pink spinnerbait. Lately I've been when I've been throwing a lot of these small swim baits, I'm dyeing my tail pink, and I've been catching tons of crappie, tons of bass with all of these lures. So but right now, pick up this pink trick worm, work these shallow areas that these fish are moving up to spawn in, and you too can load the boat.